Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to my studio for this evening. I am your creative coach, Lisa Fulford, and I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. Today is a Makeup Monday, and I had my team meeting today. And during the meeting, we always like to bring shoebox swaps, and so I'm going to share those with you too. And so I have the card that I took for the shoebox swap. And then I also have another card to share with you that I had done for another swap. So I hadn't shared it yet, so I wanted to share that with you today. So, but anyway, I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter. That was yesterday. And so let's get started. So let me switch the camera. There we go. All right, so the first card that I'm going to do is the second card that I wanted to share for today. It's one that I've done in the past, and I'm looking at the wrong camera. And it's one that we had done, and I had done in the past. I just hadn't shared yet, and so that's the one I want to do first, because then I can get into what we did for today. So that first one is using a wonderful stamp set, and graduation will be here before we know it. And so I've been working on a few graduation cards because I have a few people that I know are graduating this year, and I want to have cards already made and not be at the last minute. I don't know if you're anything like I am, but a lot of times it's like, I know I've got that birthday party to go to, and I know it's on a certain day, but then it's like, I keep thinking I've got time, and then the day or the day before it gets here, it's like, oh man, I did not make a card for them. Because I like to make cards that are for individual people, like just because it's like, if they like boats, then I want to make one that's boats. If they like dinosaurs, I want to make them a dinosaur card, that kind of thing. And so I sometimes procrastinate on some of that, and then it gets clear down to the wire, and it's like, oh man, I gotta take some time and make this card. So I was trying to be preemptive and think of which schools that the people are going to be graduating from, and go ahead and get some cards made up. So with graduation, I mean, you can write your own little sentiment into them, and there's not really, that many different variations you can do for a graduation card. So I've used the stamp set in the past, and I've got them on Pinterest, and I think they're on YouTube, my videos. So you can always go back and revisit those. So I will try to put at the end of the video, probably kind of like up in the corner, like up in this corner here. I'm pointing on the camera there, and it's going the wrong opposite direction. But up in this corner here, towards this corner or something, I'll try to put that video from before where I made the different type of card. But we're going to use the cap and gown. And for the life of me, I cannot remember if this is on the last chance list or not. I forgot to check. But even if it is, it's one you should get. But I don't remember it being on there. So hopefully it's not, because I love this set, and it's a great go-to. So it's cap and gown. And I did do a giveaway for this once before on that last card video that I did. And people who commented or shared different things, then they got in a drawing to win this stamp set. I haven't decided to do that again. It'll probably be a different stamp set if I decide to do that again. But anyway, I will link that. Either if I can't put it on the screen, I will link it below so you can check that out. So we're using cap and gown. And the card that I made before, I have 3 kids. 2 went to the school where I graduated, and where my husband graduated from. And then our youngest one wanted to go to a different school, for different opportunities, different students that she had been going to school with. She just wanted to switch a school, and she had other opportunities there. They had different clubs and different things. And so she went to a school at the next town over. Since they switched that around in our state where you can go to whatever school, she decided to go to a different school. And so this is the card that would have been for the school that she went to. And we have our cousin's son is going to graduate this year. And so I thought this would be a lovely card for him. And then I'm going to make one for the school where I went to school and my husband went to school, because I believe there's someone that I know graduating from that school as well. So this is one of those kind of faux step cards. A regular step card, you cut it and change different things. Well, I'm going to do the fast and easy way, where there's not that type of cutting, and you do some cutting and scoring, but you don't have to cut the little steps out and everything. This is a quick and easy way to do that. So here is the front of the card, and then this is the back of the card where you would sign it and leave your little sentiment to them. So, and then it opens up. It can open up like this, but it opens up to stand, so you can display it. So this is the card that we're going to make. I have the cap, I have the gown and the cap here, and then I have congratulations graduate. Now, the colors for my school were green and gold. So I have those colors. So I'm using garden green, and I'm using the same gold that I used for that, and it's crushed curry. And what's really funny is that my husband and I's school were rivalries with the school that our youngest daughter went to. But then by the time that my older two children got in school, there was no rivalry. It was, we're all from the same county. And so when my son ran cross country, the guys that ran for the other school, they were great. They were great friends. And so there was no rivalry, which I was glad to see that. I don't know why there was one when we were in school. There always was. So it's going to be green and gold. So garden green and crushed curry are the two colors that I'm going to use. And so here are the pieces. And like I said, this is a really easy card. And this is 8.5 by 5.5. And then it's scored at, I should go this way. It's scored at 1 1/4, and then 2.5 and 5.5. And that's all you do for that. Okay. And then the next piece, the part that makes the little tent here to make this the step, and then that's the little tent, is 8.5 by 2 3/4, and then it's scored at 4 1/4, just in half. So there's that. And I wrote them on here because they're going to get covered up. Nobody will know they're there. And then the gold piece, that's this part here, just to give it that little extra pop. This is 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. And see, it is textured. I don't know if you could, there, you can see it there. And we used to sell textured 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Well, I can't throw anything away. And so I have been using that for, whenever we're gonna put it behind something, you're not gonna see too much of it. I've been using it up that way. It's the same cardstock. It's the same color and everything. This just has a bit of a texture to it. So it's, we don't have it anymore, but you could always run it through an embossing folder to get the same look if you like this look. So this piece is 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. So that's our layer. And then the part where we're going to stamp on is 2.5 by 4. And I just put a post-it note on there because I really didn't want to write on there, because there are two sides to every project. So if I stamp it wrong one time, I can probably flip it over. And then the piece that goes on the back is 2 7/8 by 5 3/8. So those are our pieces. So we will get started with our stamping and everything so that we can get this card put together. So let me grab a piece of paper here and fold this in half. That way I can use it. This was something that where I was trying to print something and I was out of ink and it didn't do well. So I thought, well, I can use that for a piece of scratch paper. All right, so for our piece here, we are going to do some of the stamping on it before we do the not scoring, the burnishing on the score lines. Excuse me, I could not come up with that word. So I'm going to take the garden green. So it's going to be tone on tone and lightly. This has a large border all the way around it. Need to get into frame here. Okay, so this has a border all the way around it. We used to trim that down, and I probably should this one, but I'm going to see if I can't do this whole piece without having to trim that down. I got some smudges and different things, but I could cover them up, and I'm hoping that I can do the same here. So I'm going to just lightly ink it up, and then I'm going to try it and make certain it works. Yep, looks good. And I'm just going to randomly stamp. I don't need to really focus right here because that's where I wrote my numbers. And so I know that that's going to be covered up with the other. But I want it to go off the edges and around. And, well, that one's going to have to stay like that. See, I messed it up already. I was talking, not paying attention. I could use, like, move my paper and different things like that, but I just find it easier if I move it myself, the stamp around and different things. And so I just, I'll be getting off the thing again. Scooch this up. I don't want them to overlap, but I want to fill it in. Don't know. Don't really want. It won't be noticed, I don't think. All right, so see how all that ink is on there? That's what I was worried about before. And I have a wipe here. I'm gonna just clean that off because I don't want to stick my hand in it. All right, so that part is done. I want that to dry just a little bit before I get it all over me. We're going to bring this piece in and we're going to do our stamping on this. I'm going to go ahead and open up my crushed curry. And I'm going to do my sentiment. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'll check for straight to see. Yep, looks fairly straight, so that's pretty good. So I know when I did that one, I got it clear down here towards the bottom. That doesn't look too bad. Might be a little bit crooked, but that's all right. Oh yeah, I forgot that other piece of what up here it is. Forgot to put my cap on here. So I'll tell you what, let's bring this in. I want to stamp it right up there. That looks good. That's stamped. So now we're going to bring this down. I'm trying to clean these a little bit so don't stick my hand in them. And then we're going to do this in the green. The guys wore the green. And the ladies wore white. And then our tassels were green. I think the tassels were green and gold maybe. And then the guys wore green and gold tassels as well. But their hats and their gowns were green. And ours were white. And we always had to wear a white dress under it. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. As good as I'm going to get for that solid of a stamp. And then let's see. Yep, this is crushed curry. I'll take the little tip of this. I do better with the other end. Yeah, that brush tip does better. Just fill in that yellow tassel. So we use crushed curry for that. Okay, so that really needs to dry. So now we'll go to our card bits here. All right, so this 1 1/4 inch, that's a mountain fold. So we're going to make that mountain. The next one is a valley fold. And then this big one is a mountain fold. So mountain, valley, mountain is how it would go. Then we're going to take the bone folder and we are going to crease these just like that. Get around. And then I'm going to take this one, crease this as well. All right. So we're going to open this up. See, I can cover that one up where you can't even tell that I messed it up. Hot dog, I like when that happens. All right, so I want to put glue behind it down here at the bottom. And then I can put glue on this whole section here. Okay. So I'm going to flip this over upside down. And I want to mark just below that line. That's where I know I can put glue. And then right about there. So I know this section can be glued. And then this section, see those little marks right there? There. And then this one here, probably a little harder to see that, but the mark is right here. So I'm going to add my glue. And look at this cute little glue holder that one of my downline, she had made for all of us for our meeting today. And so isn't it just the cutest thing? It's a little cactus and it holds your glue. Adorable. I like fun things like that. Kind of makes me happy when I'm crafting. I do lights behind me. I decorate my desk. It just makes things happy and festive. I like it. All right, so I'm gonna line this up. I want to be able to cover that up there. So I'm gonna line this up down here and there. And then I want to take and fold it all. Make certain that it folds like that. Folds like that. So I only put glue up to about right here, so it glued to that, and only put glue right here, so everything else is not glued. You can see through it. All right, so there's that. So then I'm going to take this piece, that 2.5 by 4, or nope, 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. See, you won't see the numbers there, and you won't see these numbers. I'm just going to add that right here. This is a quick, fun fold card that's so easy. I like easy. Come on. Slide just a little bit more. There, just a little bit more. I like that it has wiggle room, but if you don't get it right away, you don't have that much wiggle room. Okay, so I'm going to take this and we're going to add that to the back. So I know I stamped all that and I really didn't need to, but once you're on a roll, you just do it. What you cover, and what you don't, you don't. That way it seems a little bit more unified. Want that little cap to go up high. I guess we didn't have to make it where it came clear down. We could have, but then you got a bump there. And it's already got one here on the side, so I didn't want to add more so when you're writing that you hit that. So there's our card so far. It's looking pretty good. And now we just need to add this to the front. That's dry. Now, if you don't like the splotchiness, whenever you've got a full, like, it's not a line art, it is a filled in, you always run the risk of it not being, perfect. The only way to get around that is if you use a positioning tool. We do not sell a positioning tool anymore, but I do have several, but I have decided that I'm okay with it. And if you wanted to fill it in, you could probably take your garden green Stampin' Right marker and fill that in, but I don't see it to be that big of an issue. And so there is our card. It's got the place to write on the back, and then here's the front. And I just think it's adorable, and it goes together so quickly. So I really hope you'll give this card a try, because there's not all of the measurements and the cutting. You go up so far and you cut, and then you have to skip and different things. This is a quick way to do those step cards. So I guess it's a faux step card. But anyway, I hope you'll try that one. All right, so now let's get into what we did today. So I'll set this off to the side and I'll bring those back in. Hopefully I'll remember at the end of the video and show those to you again. All right, so, this is the card I made a good while ago, and I don't even know how many years ago, and it's a little mini easel card. And so I really love this paper, and I love the way that it goes together and different things. And so I was going through some cards, trying to kind of put them into categories and different things. And so I came across this card, and I'm like, oh, I forgot all about that. And I love that card. I love the paper. It had these butterflies that the stamp set would cut out. And I'm like, what do we have that would make it comparable to this card? So I just fell in love with this card whenever I made it. And then when I found it again, it made me so happy. So we're going to recreate that card with different paper. So this is the card. This is my remake of that with current or new paper and things that are coming out soon. So here's this one. This is the strawberry slush. I do believe we had that at one time, and I think it's coming back. But if not, it was something slush, but I was thinking it was strawberry slush. So if somebody knows that for certain, let me know. But then the floral paper, that's new. And so is this die cut that I put the thank you on. And of course the butterflies are, they're that sketched butterflies. So this is the card we're going to make. And this is the thing that's popped up to make it the easel. And then if you wanted to put something on the back to be able to write more to somebody, you could most definitely do that. I put my stamp back there. There you can see that. But yeah, so I'm going to show you how to put this together. Now, for my ladies, whenever we got together, I made this nice little, it's a half sheet, and it has the picture of the card, and then it tells what kind of card it is, and then it also tells like the colors, what sizes, and then it gives the stamps. So there is that. All right, so this is what we're using. And normally I would do the stamping and then do the die cutting. But this is how I make it for to take it to this class, our meeting and things. And then we take the time to, also do some crafting together. But we're doing the sketch butterflies and then the dies that cut out these two butterflies. They're in here. And I'm going to show you a trick how to make those butterflies kind of raise up off the page a little bit. And that's why I need my piercing mat. But then the textured note dies. These are new. They'll be coming out. And they are gorgeous. I just love all the different shapes that whenever they cut, they leave these little markings in them. Like this looks like a basket weave, and these are little hash marks. I just absolutely love them. And I could find all kinds of uses for this set. So I used this one right here, the fourth one up, to create two of those for this card. All right, so I'll put that away. All right, so I needed a piece of Blackberry Bliss, and it was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I've got that. And then this is new. It's Floral's Impression, and look how gorgeous that paper is. It's so vibrant and fun with the flowers. And I know we always have flower stamps coming out, flower paper, but these are adorable. I mean, they all are, but there's a lot of really cute flowers coming, and then this paper is it's just gorgeous. So there's that, and it is 4 inches by 5 1/4, so it's just a 1/4 inch step down from that base. And then we have strawberry slush, and it is a new it's going to be our new one of our new in colors. I do believe we had this once before. Like I said, if you know, let me know if I'm correct or if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain. So this is an 8 1/2 by 2 3/4, and then it got scored at 2 1/8 and at 4 1/2. So there is the part that makes the easel. And then I also have another piece of strawberry slush, and it is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. And two of the die cuts, you can cut it to approximately 2 1/2 by 4, just so that it's a step down from that. Or I die cutted these and they're fairly close. Let's see, it is about 2 1/4, I think, is what mine is. So it's a little bit smaller than what if you just cut the piece of white. You can definitely do that. With this one here, I can't even remember the dies, but I love those dies. But see, I also embossed that back piece, but I decided not to do that this time. But so that's all of our pieces. And then I've got two of the large butterflies already die cut it out, and then a small one. But I already have one of the small ones colored, so you won't have to watch me do all the coloring. So there's that. So let's bring in our stamps. We're going to use black Memento ink, and I realize that we are having difficulties getting the black Memento ink and the Stays On ink and our Versamark ink and refills. The company, I do believe, is having issues because you can go online and they're hard to find. So they're out of stock a lot of places. So anyway, but I am using it. Most people, if you're, been doing crafting for a while, you probably have some kind of black ink. So that's all that really matters. But you've got a black ink, and it's something that you can use alcohol markers with, because we are going to use light and dark Flirty Flamingo, and we're going to use a light Petunia Pop. Nothing states that you have to stay in the same color family. So I am mixing Petunia Pop with the Flirty Flamingo, so you can do that. So I'm going to ink this up, and I don't want to ink it too much because I re-inked this ink pad, and I think I have 2 or 3 of these, and I think I had thought, oh, I need to re-ink that one, and it was my other one that needed re-inked because I got this one really juicy. All right, so I'm going to do my best with all these lights and try to ink this up to the best of my ability. That's not too bad. I'm impressed. This one, get back up. Looks pretty good. And it's so pretty because it's sketched, and then it gives it a lot of detail. Oh, pretty good. Got a little bit of ink, but that's all right. It didn't do too bad. And then the little one. I was trying to compensate to make certain I got it more centered, and then I end up going off the page a little bit. That's okay. Here we go. Kind of did the same with that, but that's all right too. All right, so there are my butterflies. I'm gonna set that one up there. Bring these down. And I want to go ahead and do one of my stamps. Give that a chance to dry. And now I did thank you before, and I think I'm going to do thinking of you this time. So thinking of you. And I want that paper that I was stamping on earlier. Where did I put that? I just had it. Oh, I moved it with the card. All right. So I want to make certain, because I don't know how straight it is on my block yet. I used thinking of you, and then I took this, so if they wanted to use it, they could. Looks pretty straight. Okay. I'm going to bring this in, and I want to go kind of pretty center. There we go. Looks pretty good. So now I'm going to put the lid on this and get it out of the way. I've got ink on my fingers already. It's not crafting if you don't get a little bit on you. All right, oh, we'll need this again because we're going to color. All right, these should be dry to where we can color them in. And I start with the light Flirty Flamingo. I just fill the whole thing in. Okay. I don't do things that's going to, usually things that are very intricate. I kind of just don't. I like stuff that's quick and easy to duplicate. You can tell I'm not being real careful here. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to take the next, Flirty Flamingo, the darker one, and I'm going to start filling in just a little bit around. Just kind of almost scribbles, because it's sketched, remember, so like that. I'm going to come in with Petunia Pop. I'm going to do the body in Petunia Pop. I'm bringing that in, and we're going to do around that edges, and I'm going to blend into that dark Flirty Flamingo. Doesn't take very long at all to do these, if you do it like me. Now, if you want to do each one of those little bits and get real intricate, you go right ahead. You do you. I like to do things fairly quick. I might sometimes be a slow crafter, but for the most part, I want quick and easy on the coloring. So now I'm going to come back in with the light one again. And I'm going to do a little bit more blending to make it all kind of go together. And these are brand new markers. I've been having a lot of them crack. I don't know if I'm mistreating them or what. All right, so I know I did a little one, but I already have one done. There's that. And as that dries, it'll look a little bit different. All right, so move some of this out of the way and grab this. All right, so I'm going to show you a little trick with the butterflies. I've got my stylus here, and to give them some kind of like dimension and a little bit of life to them, I take the largest end of the stylus right here, and I kind of go up and down the body. I want it to crease, and I'm using my piercing mat so that it will crease. So it's kind of slightly bending. I don't know if you can tell. See, it's bent a little bit. Now you're going to flip it over. And then you're just going to you don't want to go to the edge. You just want to be in the middle and kind of like where that coloring is. And you want to swirl. You don't want to go in lines. You want to swirl. And that's going to make those, press kind of hard. You don't want to tear it up. And I'll show you the difference here in just a moment. Hope I'm not making the camera move too much. Okay, so here's this one. See how it kind of scoops and it's kind of raised up? Here's a flat one. Let's do it this way. So this is flat. And this one here is like raised up. Hard to see it, difference there. This one here's kind of scooped, where this one here's not. So then, and when you're laying like this, you might can see the difference. This one here's it's kind of rounded. This one's just flat. So now we're going to do the same to this one. That's just a little trick to kind of give it a little bit more depth. That. Then I just kind of like bend it on that where I did the stylus before. So see, now you could kind of see that they're like raised up off the page. All right. And I want to make certain this one's good, and like that. All right, like that. And then kind of in the center. So there are my butterflies. I've already got those going. So now it's time to put it all together. So we're going to take the base. I'm going to take the DSP. And this is gorgeous new DSP. It'll be coming soon. I do believe it's like May 6th, maybe? I don't think it's available yet. But if you want to sign up to be a demonstrator, I'd love to have you on my team, and you could add it to your kit, and you have the chance to have early access to all of the new stamps and the new paper and the new DSP. That's one of the perks of being a demonstrator. Okay, so this I want to glue on to the front here. I've been a demonstrator for, I think this year is, let's see, my 19th year. So yeah, it's been a fun ride. All right. That works. Okay, so now then, each one of these is going to be a mountain fold. Where we normally go mountain valley or valley mountain, each one of them is going to be a mountain fold like that. So you just fold them. So kind of like you fold it in half and fold it in half again, but we're not going to tuck it. So it's just like that. Now we're going to add this to our card front right here in the center. Try to add glue to the corners to make certain they hold down. Your corners are held down, you're golden, let me tell you. Take, fold it in half. Scooch it to the middle here and make it as equal on both sides. All right, take my foam folder. Certain that's good. And we'll take and grease those lines. That way, if I needed to adjust them in any way, I could. All right, so now this is going to go to the inside of the card. So the second one goes on the inside. You can stamp a sentiment on this one if you want, but I always wait until I know who I'm going to give it to know what I want to stamp on the inside. If I'm really close with someone or it's a family member, a lot of times I will do a more intimate type of sentiment. If it's, you know, somebody that's an acquaintance, I don't always do that. All right, so this section here, we're going to do like what we did on that other card. We're going to flip it over, get this clear down here to the edge, and see this little score line. We're going to come right below that score line to know not to go above. So this is where we glue. Okay, so put a little line here and know that we put glue here. So we're going to make certain it's right side up. I hate to put that on upside down. And we do not want glue up here because we want it to be able to pop up and raise. Bring this down here. Line it up with that bottom edge and those side edges. Kind of like that. Press. Open this up and press it this way. So basically, this is the same size and shape as the underneath. We just did not glue this top part down to give it a way to bounce open like that. So there is that. And then let's find our mini dimensionals here. Let's see, do I have any? No, so I'll just trim this down and use that. Let's see. I'm going to use little slivers like that. And we'll put them on the back of the smallest one, the smallest butterfly. We'll put them right there on that body. Kind of need some tweezers, I think, for this. So put it right there down the center of the body. Bring that one right there as well. Come on. If I had mini ones, it'd be easier. Okay, so I basically just raise it up right there. And then find my tweezers so it's easier. Oh, I'll use this instead. I'm going to take what I just snipped again, and I'm going to put kind of off here to the side just to give a little something for those wings. Okay. Pull these off. I'm struggling here. They're so little. Just use my finger there. There we go. They're just so small that it's hard to get a hold of them. So I want to bring this down here to the bottom. You can set it at an angle or what have you. You don't want the wings to get too far down. You want that easel there, be able to pop up underneath there like that. All right, so there. And then we're going to add these. So I want to grab, we're going to do some of that trimming again. Making these a little bit bigger. I'm going to go right down the middle of the body again. Just like that. And then, we're going to take a dimensional, put there, take the backing off, and we're going to stack another one on top. That. Come over here, dimensional, stack another one on top, and they don't have to be like lined up perfect on each other. And we're going to take each one of these backings off, just like that. Then we're going to kind of bend it, put it up here towards the top, and then see how it kind of like lifts it up off the page. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of rounded, and in person you can really see that it's lifted. It's got a lot of dimension to it. Come on, get focused. There. See, it's got quite a bit of dimension. You can see maybe at an angle, but yeah, it's kind of real raised up there. We're going to do the same to the back of this one. Add that one there. And that one. there. And then we're going to double them again. There we go. And there. And there. And then kind of bend them a little bit. And bring them down here. And they're nice and rounded. You can add a wink of Stella. You could use the mixture that I always do, where you do wink of Stella and alcohol in the spray bottle, like in the little spritzers. Get that all off the counter. You could try, just about anything to give it a little bit more. Sometimes less is more, but not when you're doing this card. It's really gorgeous. Let's see if I have, this alcohol. That one's, yeah, it says alcohol, but it's empty. This one's water. Let's see. Little plunger fell down in that one. This is it. Yeah, see that little white thing? This one will probably leak because the seal fell down in there. I don't know. I'll have to fix that later. All right, so let's bring this in. And you'll see how these are, and you'll see they'll get really vibrant now. I'm going to spritz. These are a little bit more vibrant than these because the alcohol hit them. But I don't know if the light will catch it just right or not. But it's a lot of shimmer on there. When you put alcohol over alcohol markers, yep, I just can't see it on there on camera. In person, I definitely can. It's really sparkly. So that is the remake of this card with new products that we have. So there's that. So that was my swap for the team meeting today. And we have a lot of fun. We talk about up and coming things. We talked about the demonstrators, Creativity Now coming up. So if you join, you could get in on that too. And then we talked about there's a incentive going on for demonstrators for April. We talked about that kind of things. We talked about like what our team sales and what they were looking like, and like who needed so much more to get to the next level and things like that. So we had a lot of fun, but we also bump up that fun by making cards. So these are the other cards. So one of the ladies that has been with me for the longest, her name's Jane, and this is the card that she brought for us to do. And so they don't have to be current. They don't have to be current products. All this is Stampin' Up, but the paper, I believe, is like a past one because I don't think it's the same butterflies that I had here, but it's gorgeous paper. So it's to give us ideas on cards, not necessarily, the products, because we don't all have the same products. So there's that. That was Miss Jane's. And Miss Mary Ann. This one's hers. And I think it was supposed to be a little bit closer together, and I got to talking and put mine farther apart. But I like how that turned out. And there's the inside. So there's Miss Mary Ann's. And then this one here is Miss Nancy's. And then we had some others. They weren't able to be there, but I just thought that was very cute. I dropped my marker and landed on the edge of this, and so I'm like, I'm going to color the whole thing instead of having a white border, just because I didn't want to have one spot. So there's that. And so anyway, that was the swaps. They bring it in. It's called shoebox swap. They bring in all the pieces and the ink pads and everything, and they bring in one cut up for all the pieces cut, and we all make one of those, and then we, like I make one of all of Jane's, I make one of Marianne's, one of Nancy's, Pam, different ones, and then I cut out enough for all of them to make one too. So we have a lot of fun. We try to get together once a month to do things like that. And then I also have in-person card classes, and then I do online card classes, to-go classes, bingo. And I am looking to do a free bingo, and I'm hoping to get it in. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong month here. Let's see. I'm hoping to try to get it in. It'll probably end up having to be the first. I was hoping to get it in this week, but I don't think I'll be able to. But I'll try to get it done by like May 2nd, maybe, something like that. So I'm looking into doing a free bingo. So what that entails is getting on either Facebook or YouTube, and we play bingo. And then does it cost anybody anything? And then if you win, I will send you some 6x6 DSPs, and they'll probably be either past celebration or past DSP that I've got on hand. And so it's just so that we can have a lot of fun together. And I do also do bingo classes where it is called Fun Fridays. I haven't done them for a very long time, but I want to get started doing those again. So Fun Fridays is we play some bingo, we make some cards and different things like that. So I'll probably have a couple cards to show on my free bingo. So I will give you more information on that, and hopefully I'll have the details lined out and put it in the description below this video. So I want to thank you so much for joining me for this Make It Monday. I really hope you had a wonderful weekend for the holiday weekend, and we're blessed with family and friends. And so thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, happy stamping. Bye-bye.